and more Heroes of the Storm you shall get right now. Team Liquid and Tempo Storm are in their best of 2, and Team Liquid with a 1-0 win so far on Full Sky Foundry. The first Full Sky Foundry win for Team Liquid, even though they've been picking it every series. It finally pays off, Skimmy.
Now, we mentioned it before. You're saying, look, this is a map that they shouldn't be going for because it's very similar to what we've seen before. Some cheers in the background. They're feeling quite amped up after that victory, and rightfully so. You know, if it's a map that you're underperforming on right here, but it's a map that historically you do very well on, that's when it really takes that psychological element of like, look, hey, we are good at this. Just because we haven't had the best performance so far, this is something that we still play all the time and have got good results in the past. So I respect it. I want to see Tempo Storm do the exact same on their side now, though.
Well, it'll be dependent on where we go, of course. So let's check out the next battleground. It is Dragonshire, and Skimmy, you had some fears about Tempo Storm potentially heading to this map. It is a favored battleground for Tempo Storm in a big way. Often will give up first pick in order to go to where they love to do battle.
And we're going to Dragonshire, so we'll see how that pays off. What I'm looking for is a little bit more layered nuance here for Tempo Storm. That draft that we saw from them on Full Sky Foundry, it made a lot of sense. Here's what you're trying to do. You're trying to blow up those tanks in the front line, and Team Liquid just happened to get the better edge of it here. So coming into Dragonshire, a battleground that typically has that mid to late game, you typically want to make sure that you have many different ways or forms to be able to pull out a fight. So globals could be great here for them, but also wouldn't mind seeing that Maiev come in again if it's left up and available on draft, but also a little bit more focus on mercenary camps. I want to see them be a little bit more adjustable.
I want to see Kerrigan.
You want to see Kerrigan?
Yes.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Okay.
They did it before.
With do they run it with the Blaze, or do they just run it with the double support? What's the play?
Double
With
support,
Dahaka.
Dahaka and Greymane.
Okay.
Versus BTG just yesterday.
You know, Tempo Storm actually back to Psalm when we saw them pull out the Kerrigan last year here, actually on this BlizzCon stage. I did not believe in it, and they pulled it off. So you know what? I'm down. Let's get some Kerrigan going.
All right.
Last time I played Kerrigan, the Zul was actually banned away from them by Beyond the Game in that third rotation. So those are the two things that really spike out to me as pocket picks, as picks that could actually find themselves a little bit of spicy flair to try and change things up here. But when you're going to be running that into a Garrosh, might not be so desirable there, Gilly.
Tempo Storm want to siege. They want to get bot down as fast as possible, start getting double camp, triple camp pressure as fast as they can. And sieging versus Garrosh is always a tricky thing to do, especially if you want to do it with the Greymane, who wants to get in Worgen form, but has to sit right on top of the towers.
Yeah, usually you suddenly get surprised and Garrosh tosses you straight into the fort, which is Gilly is alluding to there. Definitely something you gotta watch out for. Tempo Storm's gonna open up with a safe pickup though. There's that Dahaka, that global play we were looking for. So should be able to hold that top lane nice and fair, but also it kind of bolsters up that strategy you were talking about. If they need to come down and commit to that bottom fort and take it out quickly, Dahaka is there in a heartbeat. Raynor there to back up with that siege potential too, and we've been seeing them run Hyperion. They are willing to commit to infrastructure.
And it retains the priority that Glaurung has for Dahaka on this map in particular. He picked on the first rotation last time, he's only played it once, and on this map in particular. And it always gives him that ability to say, hey, we have a fantastic 4-man, which is the most important lane on a map like Dragonshire for the points you mentioned already there, Gilly. So you want that macro for the pushing power, for the mercenaries, and then the ability to say, hey, we can suddenly turn this into a 5v4.
But it gives up Maiev. And Garrosh Maiev, Garrosh Junkrat, all of those put together, 2 of them, or all of them, is not fun to play against. You really don't get to choose your positioning if you end up getting caught by one of the 2 of those.
You get to appreciate the death screen more. That's for sure when you're playing against that, and that's always an enjoyable thing. They did a lot of good work to that. Blaze comes out with a ban here for Tempo Storm, staying away from that bunker that's been pretty prevalent for a lot of our teams. Also, when you want to take out a top laner, Dahaka not wanting to deal with that. So we look into a Jaina ban, which has been a fan favorite for Vin, and also something that's been contested for both of these teams. So Jaina has been taken away. I'm actually really curious. What is Tempo Storm going to pick up here?
Well, I think here's where we get, are they changing? Is this the adaptation point? You can try the one time versus Team Liquid. Past that, is that still commitment to what you've practiced, like Full Sky Foundry? Or do you still have to, or do you have to start making those adaptations? Because Dahaka Raynor, that's pretty standard, not really showing too much. We are seeing some changes here as Cattle brings back in the Arthas.
They're going to leave Vin's pick to the last latest stage here. You know, I feel like that Jaina ban really hurts them because Jaina would shut down the ability for Garrosh and Maiev to engage so hard. It's such a great pickup, especially if you go for the Frostbolt build. They're going to stick with, well, and especially because the Medivh was banned away. But, you know, looking at this, they've gone for that kind of like that rotation squad once again. They've got the very scary ability to rotate from mid lane to bot lane. They need some extra pizzazz. They need some big backline damage now.
Tychus comes out, a Team Liquid special. They dabble occasionally in the Tychus, and when they do, they are intending to focus down one target and burn it down, which is actually something really important here to note. What's that? What are you looking at, Gilly?
Tychus versus Raynor, this has to be a Kerrigan. That has to be, it's thematically.
We have to have lore-appropriate play here. The big thing here is actually, with Arthas coming in, Arthas, when he's pulled into a Maiev combo, Arthas actually wants to keep moving forward. Icebound Fortitude, try to get onto the back line, but now you have the option to move into a containment disc, which is something that we see in EU a lot. So now Arthas can actually be ignored, and the rest of Team Liquid can push forward past that and try to find a kill with the Tychus who's going to burn down any health bar.
And here's that Sergeant Hammer that you're after. I was thinking it had to be, if not that, it had to be a Junkrat. Junkrat seems a little bit iffy, but I like it for the displacement factor that it could have added, and it gives them some poke from afar, a little bit safer. Sergeant Hammer, acting in the very same manner, will be able to siege in the bottom lane, and it's quite hard for the Garrosh to get up in his face.
Hammerbot with the siege, Dahaka top can stalk in, could move people up to help out with him possibly, and try to draw up some of the resources. But then Team Liquid getting a lot of the picks that we've known them for, right? Of course, you get Sport Billing's Garrosh. The Tychus, for me, where does that factor in?
The Tychus is, again, the idea of trying to find one target and kill it off, and I'm expecting actually a containment disc here to make sure they get that quick 5v4. Decker Kane immediately picks a target that he wants to go into, a Lornado to pull them in, and Tychus the entire time just burning them down there. And the moment you get that quick 5v4, suddenly the person that comes out of the containment disc is the next target,
Sure.
and you just move forward.
Shoutouts to Arcaner's parents who are currently in the audience here supporting. That is not a short flight, I hear, to
26
come in
hours.
here, right, Skimmy?
I mean,
you know that.
I don't want to talk about those kind of flights. 40 hours from Australia, New Zealand, all the way to Europe. Yeah, it's a great time.
That's not his parents.
Nope.
Nope, that's not his parents. I met them earlier.
You know, it's a big family for Team Liquid.
Nope, not them either. They're in the crowd somewhere.
They're in here somewhere.
Nope, not them either.
Wait, we're just
There they
are!
are!
We were just keeping you guessing! Yeah!
Lovely people coming all the way out here to support their son, and that means a lot, honestly,
It
to
really
any esport
does.
family. We truly appreciate that here at the HGC.
Yeah, it's I don't even...
I felt a little
like,
bit like
they're
baseball
not-
cam, where it's like going around looking for like the kiss. I'm like, that's not it. That's not
Arcaner's
it.
your lost son!
Just wait, Arcaner, don't worry.
He's an insane player.
Found your
He's like,
parents.
he's tilted on stage, and I was like, oh my god, come on. My parents are embarrassing me, guys. Come on.
Mom. All right, we've got one game left to close out the night. This has been a joy of a segment. We're gonna head over to the casters for this last game.
I'll tell you one thing, we are not his parents either. That's it.
That's how Arcana finds out that he's adopted.
Arcaner, we love you, son. Please do well.
Oh, that was brilliant. I forgot everything I wanted to say, but that was the perfect segment.
The one thing I remember is Tempo Storm drafted a very normal draft.
Yeah, that was actually a bit surprising. Like you, thinking at the inside, okay, what's it gonna be? But the hammer on the last pick. I mean, let's put it like this. They have a lot of tools to avoid Garrosh being able to get in a good position. You have the penetrating round on Reyna. You have at the same time also, of course, then Sergeant Hammer can push it back. So they can control the front line of Team Liquid. Billy here on Garrosh needs to do a great job with him if he wants to get value. Eternal finds himself on Urel. Arcana this time on Maiev. Nurok again on Deckard Kane. And Hazobst on Tychus.
You know, on the Tempo side, when we look at this, it seems very normal. June on Malfurion, a very classic style pick. We know Vin does very well on the Raynor at controlling. He will have a lot of control over that front line. But I think the thing that always scares me is the Caterpillar Arthas in this composition, Caldor, because you have no mobility and you have nobody that can really get you out of danger once you get flipped in.
I don't trust this draft either because it looks too normal. Yes, you have Arthas in the main tank position instead of the off lane, but I'm fully expecting Syndragosa to come out here. Bring me some in Elul, please, in this draft. This is the only way I can see it happen.
My favorite part about that, oh, nice root there.
Yeah, good one.
But June, the way he's playing, he actually put the roots down on top of Fan, so if anybody does come in to try and make a play that Maiev, it's like, well, you're going to get rooted instantly if you come in. It's a very interesting strategy. It's very much a protect the hammer composition.
And they can get value out of this. So all jokes aside, I really feel that Tempo Storm with this Protect the Hammer comp can do a lot of work, especially if they get an early lead here. That would be fantastic for them. Again, you have good control against Garrosh. You try to avoid him getting close to Hammer, especially then later on after level 10 when the Warlord's Challenge comes in. The taunt is something you need to avoid, but there's a lot of tools that Hammer has. Same goes also for Jim Raynor. A lot of disengage here through the penetrating round. And that's something that they have to use wisely, especially, of course, with Arthur's. That combo just on the slows, capitalizing on that, is going to help them too.
I think the thing for me when I look at Tempo Storm, you look at their draft, Tychus does very well at controlling a Garrosh at level 7, getting his own built-in slow. Sergeant Hammer then gets that mobility to be able to move in siege mode. So it's really when I feel Tempo Storm can start being more aggressive than they are. I mean, the level 4 unstoppable to self-cleanse yourself in that siege mode is one thing, but it's like, when can you actually proactively do something instead of defensively do things? And most of it is, look, I can play around my range. That's one tool. But post-level 7 really feels that's when this tempo draft can actually start making plays of their own.
I mean, there's a lot of layers to the draft. We focus a lot now on Hammer, but at the same time, you have that Arthur's Reyna synergy with Ace in the hole and the slows that come through Arthur's. If at any point Tempo Storm gets ahead in this game, they can really use these tools extremely well to keep Team Liquid in a defensive posture. But for the time being, it's the European team that sets up the top lane with a very nice bruiser camp push and already obliterating this wall. Glorong is going to need help here, and the rotation is a bit late from Tempo Storm.
Yeah, this is actually really scary when you look at the draft from Team Liquid, when you have the Maiev, when you have the Urel. Now that that wall's down, you see the Korean teams. Once that wall's down, that gate's down, you get one more minion wave in there, one more rotation as Fan a little late on that, but does manage to scoot on out of there. Nice dodge of that lockdown. Nurok trying to make plays, but the Korean teams, once that wall's down, it's go time. And when you see that next rotation of that night camp, or when those minion waves start getting pushed out, the defense of that lane is very scared.
I mean, let's not mince words here. Haka already has tough enough time as it is against Urel here. But if you, for example, also lose the wall and maybe even the well, you're in more trouble. Cattle, on the other hand, gets thrown in, and that's an easy first kill for Team Liquid. Great start for them again, finding that kill and offsetting the map balance again in their favor.
Well, that's the problem with the Sergeant Hammer, is you can only do so much. And the minute that minion wave gets cleared, the Team Liquid composition is able to rotate around and make plays of their own happen. The Maiev, the Garrosh, everything comes together for this team. Even Nurok getting involved in every different aspect. I mean, when you lack mobility on a warrior, nice and dominable there by Sport Billy, waiting for that penetrating round. Ven trying to walk away, June trying to keep him alive, but Ven, he is stuck very deep there. Cattle comes in for defense, but nicely done. Again by Team Liquid.
Also a great dodge here as Arthur's moves in with a Howling Blast. Nurok moving away. Keep in mind that Tychus is going to try and burn down Caterpillar later on in the fight a lot. Once again, the throw here, the tether right afterwards. Another stun coming in. Great moves by Team Liquid as we see Eternal and Hazops rotating into there, focusing again on Arthur's. Cattle in the corner, and that might be the kill here, but barely kept alive by June.
That was so close. So close. Tempo Storm thinking they're lucky stars. They are level 7 picked up by Team Liquid. Both of those temples picked up momentarily. The shrines for Tempo Storm have control. See if they can make anything happen. Bottom regain control. Ven continuing to poke back and forth against Sport Billy, but Tempo Storm rounding. They finally pick up level 7.
And Tempo Storm starting to threaten that first DK more and more. They are actually doing quite well here, and they might get it. June with the channel, and he gets it through objective number 1 in the hands of Tempo Storm. Well done.
Well, I gotta say, you've said the key word, June, in that DK, which means your support was in that. So you have to tread lightly. You have to tread, yeah, you will take what you can get at this point. Team Liquid has done well to control a lot of these rotations. Sergeant Hammer will get some push down in the other lanes now that that hover siege mode is available. So this protector, or excuse me, this DK is not necessarily to do a lot by itself or to really open up this game. It's just to let the rest of the team do work.
Eternal, Genki Temple at the top, but immediately moves out. We still have Billy around though, and he might be in trouble. Nice dodge on that Howling Blast though, really well done here, avoiding a death on their end. But that DK is still active. Fan together with Junior now pushing through that bottom lane and trying to take a fort out already as the fight at the top lane is emerging once more. Nurok comes in and tries to seal them into the ground. Unsuccessful at that though, while we're seeing Tempo Storm gaining more and more experience through that bot lane push.
Calder, that bot lane got a lot more done than I thought, but Tychus, what do you do against the Sergeant Hammer? But now Sport Billy making his rotation over. Fan with a nice knockback, not able to track down in time. Fan having his fun with his sprays here. So he's having fun in this game.
Really good combo by Nurok as well. So they were trying to flank them and trying to intercept the back off that we're seeing from Tempo Storm here. If June would have moved back just a second too late, that would have caught him full on and they could have gotten a kill there. So a nice preemptive move by Nurok trying to lock him down in the considered brush, but June smart enough to know exactly when he had to move away to avoid that flank.
You know, Eternal, to me, as the year has gone on, I can't help but be impressed at all the small things he has accumulated, starting to do more and more. Like right there, it was a matter of he's double soaking, clearing the lanes, but then he's hiding in that bush, hiding himself from vision. Tahaka's on the other side. If Tahaka brush stalks bottom and maybe somebody comes bottom, he's in a quick rotation point to be able to make down. It's just always that good awareness, always being in the right place at the right time. I'm just watching the minimap there, and you can't help but appreciate somebody that's actively thinking, being a key component to his team.
Eternal has just grown so much. He's an absolute key player. It's not only that he can make really amazing moves within the game, but also him now being the macro shot caller for the team and how much responsibility he has taken on over the years to let his team also take part with this experience and lead them as a unit. That's really something that really stands out to me personally. Now we're both of the teams on level 10. Here's the first fight. Arcana with the attempt to push them in. Vin gets taunted. The Warlord's challenge is in, but he's still alive as June pops the Tranquility. Tempo Storm is turning it around and finds the kill against Oyer.
Arcana going to be the first one. There's going to be a drag landed by Glaurung. That's going to lock Sport Billy in. That's going to be a double kill. Cattle continuing to track down, but a nice knockback by Eternal will buy time and space to stop the bleeding here. Tempo Storm coming in, getting their first 2 kills.
Keeping Win alive was so important here, and once that Reyna was saved, exactly what we talked about earlier happened. You can walk them down. Arthur's with the slows, immediately the ace in the hole, proccing continuously as Win turns around, gets the damage in, and then Tempo Storm grabs 2. Now slightly ahead, inexperience here, nearly hitting level 12. Team Liquid, they need to be careful. Here comes the channel. Eternal jumps in, interrupts it once, but Cattle is already on him.
Nice unstoppable. The cleanse is going to be there, so no tether in there, and that's spot time and space again here for Tempo Storm as they get DK number 2. They remember that bottom lane that they've already pushed out, got that damage in. They got their eyes set on this bottom lane keep wall.
Lornado attempt to interrupt once again, but it already came too late. So another objective for Tempo Storm and Team Liquid after getting a very dominant victory on the first map. It's now struggling here on Dragonshire.
They are heavily committed here. You can see Glaurung help clear the lane. Now he's anchoring. Yrel on the way down to try and defend. They're a full level down is Team Liquid as this next tower falls. That will be 13 almost around the corner when that goes down. So just poke, 5 on 5. Team Liquid's not soaking anywhere else, and you can see 13's almost here.
Here comes already the containment. They're still against Sergeant Hammer in the back. They're starting to move in. Here comes the combo, the Lornado once again. But Fan moving out, propping the siege tactics here as well. And again, Win with the punt here.
He's clearing space, and Fan keeping himself alive in that situation. Look, there's nothing else to be done. Tempo Storm needs to walk away from this fight. You can see Eternal, nice dismount there by Fan, using that to just say, look, we don't want you tracking us down anymore. We're retreating.
Fan is sitting on 30,000 damage against heroes and is therefore nearly doubling the damage output of the second in line. Absolutely tearing through those heroes on Team Liquid's side, where especially the attention of Team Liquid is divided between trying to control Arthurs, trying to take down Win with a good Warlord's challenge, getting the taunt through, but then you always have Fan just shelling away with Hammer.
It's only going to get worse at 16 when he gets his giant killer against a Garrosh. That is not what you want to be feeling as you try and move in. We've seen the plays from Arcaner and Sport Billy and Eternal all moving into that range, but if they're not able to get those kills, those autos from Fan are only going to hurt more and more as this game goes on.
But of course, Liquid here also waiting for their moment to turn this around again, but now they are very careful. They need to control this Arthurs. Cattle with the Howling Blast has been a problem. Him walking heroes down and then Win with the ace in the hole, getting the damage in, while Hammer is adding on that was a huge problem. The pressure on the bot lane is also starting to threaten Akifia. Again, the Howling Blast against Arcana, some free damage as Fan gets the shots in, and that's a quest completion for Arthurs as well, as we see Tempo Storm edging forward.
Yeah, but look at this, 13 picked up. Yrel starting to come in. Yrel coming in for the flank, see if he can get into position. The containment disc, however, missed, and that will thwart what assault we could potentially have seen there by Team Liquid.
Yeah, that was definitely huge. Liquid wants to hit 13. The immediate reaction, guys, let's go. 13 is here, let's make the move and force the fight. But the containment disc missing allows Tempo Storm to walk away.
Here we go. Sport Billy and team still looking to move forward, but that will pull Tempo Storm off of the night camp. Arcaner taking shots into the fray, will buy space there. Cattle starting to get the lockdown. Nice Lornado as isolated 2 members of Tempo Storm.
It was a fantastic disengage by Team Liquid. First, you see the into the fray from Garrosh, saving Maiev, and then immediately the Tornado just simply pushing Dehaka back as he starts to tunnel in. Liquid saying, yeah, we're having none of this. We're going to just move away for now. We're going to reset. We're going to wait for the cooldowns to come back in, and then we can think about the next team fight. For the time being, we don't want to have any part in this.
Tempo Storm is looking to siege up with the Sergeant Hammer again on this exposed bottom lane. They have the Night Camp, gives them that spell armor. We'll be here momentarily. And this is Team Liquid saying, look, we will defend this with everything that we have as the Odin comes out. And there's the toss and taunt, Kaldor.
The toss, the taunt, the kill. Reyna goes down, and Team Liquid have an opportunity. Arcana already on the way forward. He's trying to go for the containment disc, and he hits it. They want to go for Hammer. They want to get their kill, and they find it. They take him down. Fan dies, and that's a 5 versus 2 on the map.
Kaldor, that play by Sport Billy and team, he's like, look, I can't make up this ground. How about I toss you in and make this play? Beautiful execution by Team Liquid. Sport Billy on that front line has been killing it the last minute or so.
That was a really good move from Liquid, and actually it comes at the perfect moment in time, because you look at experience, you look at the position on the map. Tempo Storm, they had it. They had the leading experience. They have Dehaka. They could have borrowed up to the top lane, trying to get the second shrine and aim for the 3rd DK in a row. But now Liquid has an opportunity. They can try and close the experience gap and maybe even take the lead, take down a 4-tier, and all of a sudden you're the team looking for 16.
That camp they got up at the top, which is where you saw that jump in XP. Kaldor, they're doing just what you said. They do have that lead, minor lead, but it's about to jump up once more of these structures start to fall. Fan will move forward, get some damage in. The root comes in from Nurok. No follow-up there. That is a Maiev in that DK, so you won't have those tethers to try and pull in. Cattle will try and dismount, walk away. The DK finds itself in an interesting spot here. That's why he gets through the sidewall. He's like, wait a minute, this would hurt if I stay here too long.
Dragon Knight once again taking down the structures here. 16 in the hands of both of the teams now. Giant Killer, of course, available at this point for Fan. Hammer is going to be a nightmare, even more so than before from this point onwards. Paint them red on Reyna. Huge talent here for Win to pick up. And on the side of Tigers, we have the Titan Grenade. But it's Liquid pushing forward and dropping the fort bot side.
Nice tornado onto Fan. They know that he's trying to get out of there. The root's down in response, but look for Glaurung. The minute this DK starts to go, if Tempo Storm, can find that positioning, they might try and come in behind this. We'll see if they can make something happen, but Dehaka's been pushing down that top lane this whole time. The root comes in, but here comes Dehaka. There's no escape there, no vault available. They got their eyes on Arcana.
This one was telegraphed. Arcana is still caught though. The Howling Blast doesn't hit him, but it hits the Eternal. They're moving away, but that was a close call there. Great play by Glaurung again. First, utilizing the global mobility on the map, getting the value topside as Liquid 5-mans the bottom of the map, getting that fort, and therefore still on even experience, and then the drag, connecting the second tier 2, and the immediate follow-up from Nurok, leading in with a Tornado and making sure that Tempo Storm cannot collapse onto the target.
This feels very even at this stage.
Yeah.
Tempo Storm had a lot of control for a long time, but now we're looking at Team Liquid that seems to be in control of the pace, in control of this game. But you look, no keeps down, 17-17. You couldn't ask for a more evenly matched game, but there's the Ancient Blessings popped, and that will take down Glaurung there, getting caught out in the middle, and now Team Liquid can make some different decisions as they're going forward. Containment disc just gonna miss.
Barely missing here. Arcana trying to go in. The into the fray is there, and that was such a clutch move as we are seeing Fan moving away from it. That was a great kill against Dehaka again. Glaurung getting caught there. Very unfortunate for Tempo Storm, and Liquid wants to be aggressive. They immediately try and steal the Bruiser camp away, but Tempo Storm is happy to take that 4 versus 4. Tigers is at the bot lane, and Tempo Storm is just looking at them. It's like, are you kidding us?
Where's your damage gonna come from, boys?
It's like, we have 4 heroes here. You don't have 5. Tigers is bot side. Get out of here.
Well, they do get that camp in that top lane. Comes at a very good time because the shrines will be active in about 20 seconds from now. Bottom night camp available. We know Tempo Storm in North America, they love double camp pressure in that bot lane. The Siege Giant camps not available, however, but they will turn their attention towards this bottom night camp.
I still absolutely love that Tempo Storm was immediately committing to that fight. There are so many teams after they lose a hero this late in the game that will just play it super passive, and we'll just not realize immediately that it's only 4 heroes that are present at this position. And Tempo Storm just said, yeah, we lost our offlaner, but guys, we have a strong 4-man here. you don't have one of your damage dealers. We got this. And now look at it. We have Tempo Storm taking their own bruiser camp and the one at the bot lane. Despite the kill against them, they are the ones pressuring.
Round number 2. We were here just minutes ago, and that was thwarted. The Odin is out in response. It's going to target that knight there, providing that spell armor. See if Tahaka, if they get away from this, might be able to brush talk out. Instead, he gets going to get tossed in. There's going to be the taunt, the knockback. Glaurung in trouble, taking more shots. Essence not enough to keep him alive. Containment just Cattle trying to get away. Another jump in. Eternal is going to be stopped there by the root. Arcaner starting to get resets. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Can he get more? See if he can get some type of lockdown. But Ben, with the penetrating around, will push them back. Eternal still trying to make plays. Cattle comes in with the death coil. We'll get the dismount. And Tempo Storm is desperately trying to run away here, Caldor.
Cattle might be rooted to the ground, but barely moves out. It was so crucial, pivotal, that we see Reyna coming in with that penetrating round. We talked about it at the beginning of the game. The tools that Tempo Storm has to push Team Liquid back. Both of the teams edging out kills and trying to force the fights here. But Team Liquid, thanks to the renewed kill against Glaurung, can now take another Dragonite. And we are looking at a level lead at level 19.5 for Team Liquid as the European team is looking for Storm talents and the first keep of the game.
Caldor, once this gate goes down and that keep starts to fall, that's when 20 comes in, and that's when the threat is very much there. Notice they have Eternal in here, which means Arcaner still on that Maiev, can make plays. Indomitable use going forward. You're still just 25 seconds away from that Odin. If they get 20 here and that big red button, this might be lights out. Team Liquid moving forward to the core to try to take down Tempo Storm.
The keep is down. They have the 20. Fan still more than doubling. Everybody else's damage is trying to prevent it. He's trying to flank here, putting the pressure onto Billy and Liquid. They're hesitant. They don't know, can we really go for it? With Hammer in this position, it's really difficult for them. And the European decides, at least for now, to back off, wait for Deckard Cain to top everyone up again, and then with Odin, with the big red button, try in a second attempt to go for the finish.
Here we go, 30 seconds left on this DK, down to 40% falling, as are the shields on the side of Tempo Storm. Team Liquid sieging up behind that Odin. Here we go, there's going to be the toss back. The taunt in is going to be their Sport Billy does enough to distract us. The DK has taken this down as Team Liquid will take this series 2-0 against Tempo Storm.
Garrosh falls, but it's not enough. The game is over, and Team Liquid with a flawless victory against Tempo Storm. Great position for them in the groups, and a fantastic finish here, getting the double kill against Sehaka, against Glaurung, moving to the 3rd DK of the game for them, and then immediately through the bot lane, able to take Keep and Core down.
It's amazing how many questions were around this Team Liquid team after day 1. Everybody's like, wait a minute. Day 2, Team Liquid's like, what questions? We're actually pretty good. I mean, all questions answered. I mean, this is very good for their step towards BlizzCon and a primary spot.
Absolutely, taking the victory not only in the series against Gen G, but now also the 2-0 against Tempo Storm is absolutely fantastic for their position in the group. And this is going to determine very much so who they are going to face off against once that we are moving to the next round of the tournament at BlizzCon. Liquid, at this point, absolutely on track.
Tempo Storm, you know, we've seen a mixed bag of tricks in drafts. That last one, it just seems like every time they push down that bot lane, there were, I don't know if it was impatience, I'd love to watch it again, but it seemed like they were, it's like, all right, let's siege up with the hammer. But Sport Billy every single time said, that's nice, I'm on Garrosh, and would just make play after play. It seemed like round 1, not enough. Round 2, you come back, you try it again, and it was almost the exact same situation. That corner wall towards that mid keep was enough to thwart the attack of Tempo Storm. They were never able to get control of that bot lane. They had very good early to mid-game control, but every time they attempted that keep, it ended up biting them in the back.
Even with all the strong tools against him, Billy always found the flip, and then we had the Lornado coming through, securing these positions and the kills, and then with the containment disc, they could follow up with the second, or at least try to do exactly that. Fantastic game here, and I'm sure we're going to hear a little bit more about it from our panel here as we're bringing it back to the desk.
Well, you guys said it. Team Liquid came into the tournament and had a slow start, but it only took a day to come out strongly, getting a win, tying a series with Gen G, now getting a 2-0 win over Tempo Storm sets them up nicely to prove that, yes, even though one European team has been eliminated, there are still 2 strong EU teams that are running rampant through the groups.
And I also got to really echo what Jeho was mentioning about Garrosh finding those moments in that bottom left corner, hugging that wall with people in. But part of the reason why that even happened was because of Maiev conditioning the rest of Tempo Storm to spread out. She was getting so many punishes when it came to those knives that it made all of Tempo Storm spread out and start to hug that wall a bit more. more, which gave Garrosh the opportunity to step in.
Yep.
Tornado comes in, and they got so many picks because of it.
Yeah, plus the Lornados. Those were money. It made Fan think twice always about where he was going to siege.
Yeah, New York was always causing problems with those Lornados, also with the Scholar Ceiling, always causing Fan to be like, well, do I need to really use my unstoppable clips? Do I need to run away? Do I need to use those thrusters? And sometimes there's the almost like instant reaction there from Jun, like, here's a route. Are they all in, like, are they fully committing to this, right? So there's a lot of mind games. I think for me personally, Liquid go into that one and say, here's your best map. We've beat you on it. How demoralized now do you feel as Tempo Storm?
Yeah, and that is something that you and we all had talked about. The idea of, do you ban Dragonshire versus Tempo Storm, or do you let them have it but know how they want to play it?
Yeah.
Every time reacting appropriately to know when the siege was going to be coming into that bottom lane. It was well done by Team Liquid, showing that preparation has come through. Looking at the standings of our groups, we're actually through the bulk of our group stage, because yesterday and today, those were our big days. A lot of matches. Tomorrow, we're still going to have 6 more best of 2s. But then by then, we're going to have a very good idea of who is going to make it to the bracket stage. And as you can see in Group A, still very likely to see the top 4 remain the same, unless BTG and Luna Meow can start some sort of run, but unlikely that that will be the case. Group B, more convoluted, but starting to shape out.
Yeah, leftovers are out. Mind Freak still has an opportunity. They have 2 more matches left, and they need to get 2 O's to get that.
We've
so
already
they awarded
discussed
3
this,
points each.
Trick. They're already going to be Dignitas. We've talked about
Oh
this.
yeah, you did discuss this.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. I
2-0.
totally believe it.
Yes. They got a 2-0 Dignitas and 2-0 the leftovers. That's quite a task, but we'll see. Skimmy seems pretty confident.
Yes.
Maybe they're going to put in their sub. Do you know?
I think that might be me.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that
Am
was.
I
Yeah.
casting that game?
The A
Can I-
game,
can I do
A
both?
team.
Yeah, you can play both.
I'm
Probably.
I'll allow it.
That's what we
You
do.
can do anything you set your mind
Thank
to,
you.
Skimmy. I believe in you.
So
Here
can you.
is what we're starting with tomorrow. Genji going up against Luna Meow. We'll see if Genji can regain some of the steam that maybe was lost losing a game to Team Liquid. Tempo Storm versus Miracle. That promises to be a pretty good one and has a lot of implications for the standings and where each person's placing. BTG versus Team Liquid. BTG still looking for their first win, their first game, and then Team Dignitas versus Tempest. Ooh.
Yeah.
Big game.
That's a rematch of the 3rd place match, right, of MSB. Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
I am looking forward to those matches tomorrow. I mean, we got the new and improved Team Liquid finally getting some wins at an offline event. Love to see that. Dignitas versus Tempest is going to be great. Tomorrow is shaping up nicely.
Yeah, today was so much fun. You know, we had a lot of great things happen. I got to stand here at the desk with Caldor when Brightwing got a win over
fun, isn't it, right?
Europe. It is really fun.
You love
we
Caldor.
played Where's Waldo. We played some games. We had some fun. We had some awesome people in the crowd that are freaking amazing. What was your favorite part of today, Skimmy?
For me personally, it was seeing Mind Freak lose 0-2 because it just means we're going to come back stronger and harder.
Harder, better, faster,
Absolutely.
and stronger.
When
All
does
of
that
those
confidence peter out, out
So,
of
like,
curiosity?
See, like, it's like opposites day. So, like, I'm from down under, right? Which is the cliche joke. So it means, you know, if I'm saying they're doing really, really bad, it means I say that they're doing well.
Reverse psychology. Trick, what was your favorite part of today?
I think I'm going to stand with Team Liquid doing well. You know, getting the win on Genji was a wonderful pickup for them. They needed that as a team. They really needed something to build around, and them pulling this off against Tempo Storm, big plays from them. So I'm very happy to see how Team Liquid is currently performing in the tournament.
It's been such an awesome opening week so far, and there's so much more to come. Thanks for chilling with us all day long. We'll be back tomorrow with more from the HGC Finals at opening week of BlizzCon. Good night.
So they've got the setup with Curse Bullet, and like you mentioned, the finisher with Blast Right, and they can do that onto anyone here. Sang dropped very quickly, Dragonar from the side, and the good Divide Shield, though, is keeping Greymane alive, but that's not so lucky for Uther.
Madax is down as well as the 2 for Wild, or actually a 3 for 0, as they all fall on down. The clone of Uther, the ghost that he is healing, but it's not going to be enough. John walks away, the root doesn't connect, but the Chain Lightning does. The invade from Mind Freak to try and find something to camp.
Off of one of these temples, it's a different story. But in comes Dahaka. It's time to fight. And right now, Malthael caught out. Self-cleanse is going to be there. Uses that jump over. Ancestral's going to land. It's time to fight.
Here's the last right. With Garrosh, Leftovers loses one, and the 4-man has to fight here, but DAB has to try to teleport out. But here's McIntyre with the big lead. He comes in on the back line. He hits Link. He's getting those resets. Ponybus trying to escape, but Leftovers, can they escape the grasp of Hero's Heart?
Here we go. Stay a while and listen. We'll keep a momentary there. Blakidney trying to trade out, but that's going to be a second member down. Let's make it 3, and now Heroes Heart. They're looking to close this game out. They got Greymane. They can go directly to court.
Brew does not land on CJZ, able to pull back next. dropped them so close to level 20, pushing that top lane. Shadowstalk is being used. There's the Valkyrie, and a quick blow up onto Raider. Can they hold this? They're looking for Zalia as well. They get him.
Double kill against Dignitas, but they're still on the core. Their shields are gone. They're trying to make the play, but Woomy falls, and I don't think Dignitas can pull this off. Even with Arena, they're dropping it already, but that's not going to be enough. The Tyral Explosion is going to take a couple more % off, but there's Junkman. He's down, and that's just not enough.
It's so crazy, it just might work.
There comes the Hyperion. Hugo goes down already. The shields are gone. The core is falling, but Dignitas is back to business. Only Junkman is missing. The jet propulsion doesn't hit. They go for Meng, and he goes down, flamethrower into the ground. That is the end of the core attempt of the one.
That seems like overkill. He died anyway. Were able to beat out Beyond the Game in a 2-0.
Oh, Leftovers may have overstepped here a little bit. They're going to go ahead and toss out the Skeletal Mages here. Looking for lockdown. That would be a nice picky X strikes out.
He's able to dash through, keep himself alive, but Kidney is low, with Tracer already taken out as the main damage source. Mosh Pit not even needed. Moncio is down. Boji Boss on the run. Linked is far enough away.
Here's from that top lane, and the bottom lane, Poik taking a bit of a beating, but so is Hami as Zalia comes in to deliver the punch or two.
And there it is, the clash on bottom. BBJ with the teleport stuck in a bad spot. Now Crowan trying to find his way out. One fan of knives is all it's necessary. And look at this. Ishbu, Dignitas saying you will not pass this line. We're going to find a triple here on the bottom half. And look at that stitch.
And maybe a fifth. McIntyre comes in from behind.
It's a gift here, man. It is like Christmas morning here for Team Dignitas. And look at this. Wubby hammers it back, knows that the turret's going to be there. Dignitas dismantling Heroes Hearth Esports with that transition.
Positioning right there, looking if he can be sneaky, looking if he can pick it up. But it's a 4v5, however, and ultimates are going to come online very, very shortly for Mindfreak. 5 seconds on certification and two-man route. That's massive. The Slayer might come across and do some damage. It connects. The hunt is there onto the backline for Maddox. Certification is huge. That's going to give him life. The boss is down. They're going to go on that point, but the Salvo is going to do so much damage. And members are falling left, right, and center, but it's all going to be on Mindfreak's side.
On those 16 Palantirs before Liquid hits the next level.
They want every bit of experience, but Eternal comes in and Sport Billy. And this is Team Liquid saying, look, we will defend this with everything that we have as the Odin comes out. There's the toss and taunt, Kaldor.
The toss, the taunt, the kill. Reyna goes down, and Team Liquid have an opportunity. Arcana already on the way forward. He's trying to go for the containment disc, and he hits it. They want to go for Hammer. They want to get their kill, and they find it. They take him down. Fan dies, and that's a 5%.